Hey, welcome back to the Healthy Living Scottsdale podcast. I'm your host, Coach Zach. I'm here with Coach Zach and CJ Hunt, aka Silly C. What's going on?
Yo, not too much.
Easily become my favorite part of the intro is Coach Zach and Coach Zach. I think I said it last episode, but it just is. I just like it. It's just fun to say. Welcome back, guys. Let's see. Start off with our client of the week. Get that one out of the way. Not that we just want to get it out of the way, but I'm excited to talk about this person. So, client of the week this week is Laura Wesselman. Miss Laura Wesselman. She is probably one of our fitter clients, I would say. Total type A go-getter, lawyer, marathoner, triathlete, like just hardcore, right? Yep. No days off type of attitude. And she's part of that 7 a.m. crew we called them the Breakfast Club at one time. But I think they have a different name now. What do they go by?
I don't
I don't know. They had some name for themselves, some new one. It's like a long way from the Breakfast Club, but that group is hardcore. Like they like to get after it. They also like to talk a lot.
Here every day.
Yeah. Here every day. They're buddies. But Laura, so the reason, not only is she awesome, but the reason we wanted to use her as the client of the week this week is because she's actually a seasonal resident. And she leaves every summer, like usually right at the end of May, beginning of June, and goes to her home in Montana. And she continues training, and she trains on Zoom with us. So she logs in from her garage. She's got like a little garage gym with dumbbells and a slam ball and a bench and
every equipment you can imagine.
TRX, like she's outfitted, and she logs in and we take her through her workouts just like she were here in person. And her group that she normally trains with are here working out, and they're like, "Hey, how's it going?" And they chit chat with her on Zoom, and then she's still working out. And I think that's a really cool thing because we've talked, I guess, kind of bring it up in a lot of our episodes, but even more recently, we've talked about start with why. Like why is it that you want to do this, or what is it that you're trying to accomplish? And that kind of dictates the path that you're going to go down. And people always get caught up in like the system or the mechanism of like, okay, what type of training do you do? Or, I need to do more cardio. We talk about that a lot. And it's like, okay, why do you want to do that? Well, a lot of people, especially here in Scottsdale, Arizona, are seasonal residents, or they travel constantly. And so they're always kind of looking for some, I guess, flexibility to accommodate that lifestyle when it comes to their fitness routine. And, I think like the fitness is not just something you do, but it's something that you are to some degree. And somebody like Laura, who is like not working out, is not an option. So it's not about the environment. It's not about the setting. It's not even about like the type of training that she's doing. It's just like, no, I need somebody to be there to hold me accountable, to do my workouts, and I'm going to show up and get it done. And so I think that is like, if you go back to why are you doing something, it doesn't necessarily matter what the process is or what that thing is that you're doing, as long as it's moving you closer to your goal or your reason why. So that's really powerful, and that's why I wanted to bring her up, because that's what we wanted to talk about today. So Zach, I know you're a no BS kind of guy, like, yep. and when I say fitness is not something you do, it's something that you are. That probably resonates with you.
Yep. Yeah.
So give me your thoughts on this.
Well, I think it's like, a lot of times people who aren't like, maybe that doesn't describe them, they look for like reasons, like they're almost like excuses to why I can't be like consistent with my routine. So like if something does take you out of your routine, like if you're traveling or whatever it is, I feel like you hear a lot of times people are like, oh, if I get the chance to work out while I'm wherever, if I can find a gym, if I have the equipment, if I figure out what to do, they'll work out. So they're already kind of like putting it on like the back burner. We're like, oh, if I could get around to it, I'll do it. But like somebody like Laura or anybody who like has that same type of mindset, it's not like if I get the chance, whatever. It's just like, how am I going to be able to find a way to like get some sort of workout or exercise in? Even if, so like that's like with Laura, I'm sure when she first came here, it wasn't like, oh, if I'll just figure out whatever. She's like, okay, how are you guys going to be able to help me be able to do this even when I leave? So like, it's people, I think a lot of times just that's they're immediate. They're just looking for a reason to be like, okay, cool. Now I don't have to, I can just take it easy. I can just kind of like slack off, whatever it is. Not even, their goal isn't to like slack off, but it's just like the first chance they get to kind of be like, okay, well, this is a valid excuse or a valid reason why I can't do it. Instead of just being like, how can I find a way to like figure this out?
Searching for the solution is not even an option. It doesn't even like cross a lot of people's minds of like, okay, what can I do? It's just like, well, I'm leaving town. I can't do anything. And they don't even try. It just stops right there. CJ, what are your thoughts on this?
All right. So when it comes to working out, it's a part of you. It's a part of you. It's what you are. You've got to make it that way. And the way you can do that, I think it comes down to your mindset, is what did you want to get out of it? When you have what you want to get out of it, you'll make every option to make that happen. When you start working out, a lot of people have a goal, even if that goal is, hey, I want to lose weight. If your goal is to lose weight, you can't stop working out. When you stop working out, even if you're thinking of your calorie bank, and that's the absolute worst way to do it, but if you do it that way, your calorie bank is going to get a lot higher if you're not working out. So if you think of it in that sense, you got to stay with it. You got to keep working out. You can't let that be an option to stop. If you're on the road, do a little bit of cardio. Doing a little bit of cardio is going to be better than completely stopping. You can do push-ups. Everybody can do push-ups. Everybody can do sit-ups. It's about working and moving.
The ground is right there. There's nothing stopping you from doing push-ups. There's nothing stopping you from moving your feet, and going outside and running. Like there's always something that can be done. And fitness, I get it, for so many people is like this major challenge, and the goal is for somebody to be able to transform themselves from the inside out so that they become like one of us. Like we as coaches do not struggle with fitness. It's not one of the things that's like an obstacle for us. Working out for us is like, it's a given. It's 90% of the time it's something that we enjoy doing. Maybe there's some days where we're like, I don't feel it today, but then we suck it up and we do it anyway. And we suck it up and do it anyway because it's a part of who we are. And we've created the habit of like, hey, my routine is every day I work out. This is my system. This is my structure. This is what I follow. And if something a monkey wrench gets thrown into that, then we just adjust, and we're not going to not work out. We're just going to adjust it. So that could be like, hey, I like to train at 6 a.m. every day. Oh, something came up. I have a work meeting, or my kid woke up and was sick. Okay, you know what? I'm not going to work out at 6 a.m. today. Instead, I'm going to do it at 1 p.m. And we just adjust our day because not working out is not an option. And so the goal is to get all of our clients like that. So instead of them, like you said, Zach, just immediately going to like, oh, that was like the excuse I was looking for. Instead of it being that, instead it's just like, oh, this popped up. What's the solution? Okay, cool. Now I can adjust my schedule, or I can do this instead. And training remotely would be like an option. We bring that up because it's like, we have a lot of seasonal people. They leave for the summer or they travel for work, and we're like, hey, you can train on Zoom. And they're like, it's like, I have meetings all day long. I'm like, you got meetings at 6 a.m.? You know?
Yeah, there's always time.
No, but I have late nights, and then there's, I gotta entertain clients, and we're going out for drinks, and I'm not gonna feel like getting up early and doing my workout.
Find an hour.
Find 30 minutes. Find 30 minutes. Like, you can do a push-up Tabata and for 8 minutes, and then at the end of 8 minutes, your chest is going to be on fire. You're going to be all swole. You're going to be like, ugh, and you're going to be ready to crush your day. And it was 8 minutes.
Yep.
Find it's something. Don't find an excuse. Like, you always are going to find an excuse if you're searching for one.
Yeah, and there's just always time. Like, most people are busy, but like everybody loves to use that. Like, oh, I'm too busy. Like, if you like documented your whole day, like you have time intermittent throughout, or like time you like watch TV for like an hour or whatever, like whatever it is, like people, like you're not actually full slam the whole day. There's always time. It's just like how you prioritize your time based on what's important to you. So like, we just want it to be like, that has to be part of your routine. Like, no matter what, like we have a lot of clients that are like that too. Like, we have clients pretty much almost every single day where it's like, oh, they came in at a different time than usual. And it's because like, oh, I have work call, whatever, in an hour. So it's either I come now or not at all. Like, that's exactly what we want. We want to be like, okay, it's either now or not at all. So I had to come early, even if it's not what I wanted. Like, that's the goal.
Yeah. I absolutely love it when a client sends me a text message and says, hey, something popped up. I can't make, my appointment. Can you move me to this time? They don't say I can't come in today. Because we do have clients that do that. They're like, I can't come in today. And I'm like, well, how about at 11? How about at 1? How about at 2? How about at 3? How about at 4? I love the person that's like, they have the plan already and they're asking me directly like, hey, I can't make this workout. Can I come at this time instead? And I'm like, yes, absolutely. You can come at that time. Right. So again, that's just the mindset. And Zach, going back to what you said, one thing that I started doing is asking people to look at their phone and check their screen time, which is amazing.
It's like 5 hours.
Yeah, 5 hours. One person was 7 hours. 7 hours just on the phone. That doesn't, like, that's not Netflix. They're not watching Netflix on their phone. They're, like probably watching some TV too, in addition to that. And I'm not saying like people work, right? Like, they use their phone for work, but like, you can just check Instagram and you can look and see, okay, how much time did I spend just randomly scrolling, like without a thought going through my head.
Yeah, and on the screen time thing, it divides it, like how much time you spend on each different thing. So that's an easy way. You could be like, okay, maybe I use this for like actual work stuff, but I was on Instagram for an hour and a half today. Like,
Yeah, you can always find time, and you can always do something. So, and that's really the thing too, when it comes to stopping. Like, how many times, if for our listeners, like, how many times have you guys lost 10 pounds and gained 10 pounds and lost 10 pounds and gained 10 pounds? How many times have you started a program and seen good results and then stopped, and it just like the program wasn't sustainable for you? And that is, it's like, yeah, most likely what you were doing wasn't habit forming. It was maybe like this crash course, and you got, really good results, but it wasn't designed to turn you into a different person, where every single day just a part of your routine becomes like working out. Every single day a part of your routine becomes going to bed at the same time every night so that you get 8 hours of sleep. It wasn't like, okay, what time do I wake up and how do I start my day? What do I eat first thing in the morning? What do I drink first thing in the morning? Like, all of those things matter. In little habits, like if you just repeat the same habit over and over, or it's not a habit, but the same thing over and over and over again, and you follow this plan, eventually it turns into a habit where you don't have to think about it anymore. It's just second nature to you. And that's the goal. That's really how you like find your fitness identity and become like someone like us, that this isn't even a struggle for you anymore. You're capable of doing it.
And I hit on that with the workouts where you do like the big crash course and then you go to having a routine. I actually used to do that before I was a personal trainer. I did Insanity and P90X and all those ones. And they'll get you great results for that 90 days and it'll keep you a little bit after, but it's not something you can do for a long, long time. I've had so much more success now that I'm actually a coach and a personal trainer where it's built into my everyday. The Insanity ones, like, yeah, it gets you good results, but it's not something you can do all the time. This and the program that we have is something you can always do, whether you're doing it here or whether you're doing it on the road.
Yeah.
It'll become a part of you, and I haven't had that fluctuation here or there.
And if you establish a workout routine, don't just establish a workout routine. Like, establish a workout routine first and then start working on your nutrition, and establish a morning, like a breakfast routine. And then the next step is like establish a lunch routine, or just continue to build on it, because by the time you get like 4 or 5 layers deep, the workout routine isn't even an issue anymore. Because you never stopped building upon that. And so that becomes second nature. And then you've always got this next thing that you're building upon. So always be growing. Like, for the listener out there, it's like, how do I start this? I don't even know where to begin. It's like, well, begin with doing the same exact step every single day until it doesn't require thought process anymore. There's no RAM space that you're taking up, and then add something so that you're constantly building upon it.
Agreed.
You guys got anything else for the people? No,
I don't think so.
No. So guys, moral of the story is, don't search for an excuse, because you will always find one. Always search for a solution. Don't let anything stand in your way. Especially, I mean, we kind of used the traveling or the seasonal thing as an example, just because that's a big one for our clients. But, you know, like the person that's going out of town for 3 months, if they're training on Zoom, they're going to come back exactly where they were when they left, or even better than the person that's like, hey, I'm leaving. And then they leave for the summer and they stop and they gain 30 pounds. It's like, okay, then we're just going to repeat this. You're going to lose 30 pounds while you're here, and then you're going to go gain it again the next summer. Like, that doesn't make sense. Don't live that way.
Yeah, and you do just feel better by yourself too, because like, we have clients that just have to leave for a week at a time for whatever it is, and they come back and how hard it is, and they just felt like unproductive or whatever it was during all that time off. So especially if it's like such a prolonged period of time, where it's like months and months, like for a whole season or anything like that, like you're gonna feel so much better. Obviously when you come back, because you didn't have a layoff, but just like throughout that whole regular routine, and like we've talked about before, it just improves everything else too. So
yeah, every aspect of your life. But that's a really good point, because we do have that happen sometimes, where people will be like, you know what, I'm traveling a lot, so maybe, you know, I'm going to be in town and I can make like 2 workouts a week, and then I'm going to be traveling the rest of the week. And so they'll do like a Monday or Tuesday, and then they'll leave town, and then they don't work out or do anything again until like the following Monday or Tuesday. And they dread the workouts on Monday and Tuesday, because they haven't done anything, and it's going to suck. And they're going to be sore just from that, because they're just spinning their wheels. They're just doing the same thing over and over again. So if they just did like 1 or 2 workouts while they were gone, you know, then they continue to progress instead of just staying the same and just having this miserable cycle. So yeah, it's a good point, is like, basically you're doing yourself a favor. Like, you're investing if you're in the future, if you're continuing to stick with it. So
definitely.
Yeah. All right, guys, that's all. I think that's all we got for you this week. We'll be back with you next week with more great stuff.
Clickety clank, keep putting them workouts in your workout bank.
Thank you so much for listening to the Healthy Living Scottsdale podcast. Do you have a question that you'd like for us to answer live on the podcast? If so, all you need to do is head over to the Apple Podcast app on your iPhone and do 3 simple things. First, leave us a rating and review telling me what you think of the podcast. In that review, ask anything you want related to health, fitness, or nutrition. And if you want a shout out, leave us your Instagram handle or name. That's all you have to do. Then listen to hear your questions answered live on the next Q&A episode.